happening with Puffy? I know you're not really tapped in, but what
the last thing I saw was like a guy there. He was like, yo, he like pushed me into the trunk and really hurt. And he sodomized me. Like he sodomized me. I was like, yo, look, I could find other things to do for money.
Did you see the video?
I could find other things to do for money. Because I was like, oh, it was very.
What did it feel like all these years, you being the only one calling this out?
I look like I've been the crazy guy for a long time.
What's happening with Puffy? I know you're not really tapped him, but what the last thing I saw was like a guy there. He was like, yo, he like pushed me into the truck and really hurt, and like he and me, I was like, yo, look, I could find other things to laughter. Do because I was like, oh, it was what does it feel like all these years you've been the only one calling this out? No, I look like I've been the crazy guy for a long time. In 15 years in Hollywood, no one in Hollywood has a memory of going to a sold-out Kevin Hart show, they being a line for him ever getting a stand and ovation at any comedy club. He already had his deals when he got here. Have we heard of a comedian that came to LA? And in his first year in law he had his own sitcom on network television and had his own movie called Soul PL that he was leading. No, we've never heard of that before. That person or since that person. What do you think a plant is? Maybe people don't understand the definition of these words. 50 Cent is stepping into the drama and he's throwing his full support behind Mel Gibson's plans to drop a list connecting Epstein and Diddy to some of the biggest names in the industry. As you know, Mel Gibson could never be silenced. He's built a reputation for exposing the industry's dark secrets even when it's cost him big time. Some people label him a conspiracy theorist, but lately a lot of his claims are starting to add up. He's now dropping claims about big-name celebs who are either skipping town or straight up leaving the country. He knows as well as 50 Cent that they're running from trouble, but it's only a matter of time before they have to pay up. The very first name on the list is Leo DiCaprio, who has been outside of the country for quite some time. Leo is usually in the headlines for being an environmental activist or a box office king, but lately his personal life is taking center stage. He was spotted chilling in Rome with his girlfriend Victoria Soretti, looking super relaxed, but there's something odd about the timing. See, Leo's been linked to Hollywood's elite parties like those infamous white parties hosted by Diddy. And if you've been keeping up, Diddy's got some serious legal drama right now. Those parties were all about exclusivity and luxury, but people have whispered for years about a darker side to them, while Leo's always kept his involvement low-key. His name's popping up again now that Diddy's under fire. On top of that, old rumors about Leo's ties to Hollywood's darker side are resurfacing. He's never been directly caught up in scandals, but the people he's associated with definitely did. So is this Rome trip just a casual getaway, or is it Leo dodging the chaos? While Hollywood burns for someone who usually plays the PR game so well, the timing of this little escape is definitely worth a side eye. Someone is also getting side-eyed lately as Kevin Hart. Right before Diddy's arrest and all the legal drama, Kevin dropped a bombshell that he's shutting down a bunch of his vegan restaurant locations. Hart's vegan fast food chain restaurant has abruptly closed according to Lie Eater. Hart Ho-Si shut down all 4 of its locations this week in Hollywood, Westchester, Monrovia and University Park South. The restaurant debuted in 2022. No word on why the chain is closing down, but the company's CEO released a statement saying, in part, we thank our committed team, our customers and our community partners for helping make the change we all craved, and for their unwavering support of Hart House. At first this seemed like a regular business decision, but with everything going on, it makes you wonder if there's more to it. Some people in the industry are guessing he might be trying to save money or distance himself from some risky connections. You know, Kevin's been known to throw those big Hollywood parties with Diddy at the forefront. However, when Kevin got asked about it, his answers were super awkward and kind of dodgy. Right to the left. Hey, okay, when you hosted for Diddy, did he catch any baby oil? And you asked the wrong person the wrong question. Your question: do you think he's safe in jail? Why is Kevin, who is known for his hustle, suddenly pulling back? It's also worth noting that he's been pretty quiet about all the Hollywood scandals. No public statements or anything. Now with Diddy's arrest and more names coming up, Kevin's actions are starting to look like he's strategically stepping back, not just making a regular business move. Let's not forget what Cat Williams told us about Kevin. He made it all clear: in 15 years in Hollywood, no one in Hollywood has a memory of going to a sold-out Kevin Hart show, there being a line for him ever getting a stand-in ovation at any comedy club. He already had his deals when he got here. Have we heard of a comedian that came to LA and in his first year in law he had his own sitcom on network television and had his own movie called So Plan that he was leading? No, we've never heard of that before. That person or since that person. What do you think a plant is? Maybe people don't understand the definitions of these words. He just did his documentary with Chris Rock where he shows you that his whole upbringing and comedy was on the East Coast. Yeah, it was. So how similarly was he here in Los Angeles doing the same thing? It didn't happen, and I hate them. Seem like a petty individual for picking apart lies, but Justice Lee going to keep lying until you say we don't believe you, like it's important in the checks and balances of the universe. But Kevin Hart is just the second name on the list. Now we move on to the Carters. Jay-Z and Beyoncé might just be the king and queen of staying quiet. These two have managed to stay out of all the drama, especially when Hollywood scandals pop up, but their long history with Diddy is well recorded and hard to ignore. Look, when Jay signed his contract, the big one was with Beyoncé. When he signed that contract, the marriage contract, he got trophies rolling in, buddy. He start getting Grammy left and right, man. Have you look at Heiser? If you look at this career, while going, let him. Exactly, he show up 20 now, oh like 18 since you been down. Look, he had one bro, hard knock life. You're not WR drinking the cop. Wait a minute, so you're saying the success is derived from the marriage? Absolutely. Been did it differ accolade because he's no longer viewed as what, like a street or gangster rapper. Now he's viewed as a businessman, entrepreneur, family man, and the biggest ones because of the position. Beyoncé, Jay-Z and Diddy have been tight for years, working together on music business and always showing up at the big events. They've been the ultimate hip-hop duo, hitting up fancy parties and charity events like it's nothing. Oh yo, before I forget this, we talked about Jay proximity to Diddy. You don't think he knew anything? He's seemingly around. That was a real suburb. Question. Proximity, that sat hit parade word. Do you think all of this was going on? I was like, I don't want to incriminate myself. I know, but the way he said it, no matter how you answer that, you snitcher. It's 2020 y'all, and it's different than when it was. The game has been elevated. As you can tell, there's no EXP, but now with all these serious allegations piling up against Diddy, Jay-Z's silence is definitely standing out for someone as focused on his image as Jay. It's kind of hard to ignore. Is he staying quiet to avoid getting caught up in any drama, or is it just a subtle way to show support for a friend in a tough spot? Maybe that's why he's not answering 50's phone calls. Answer the phone. On the other hand, Beyoncé's connection to Diddy is a bit more complicated. She's been spotted at his wild parties before, and while no one really thought much of it back then, now it's a big deal. Beyoncé is known for being strategic about her image, so seeing her at any event definitely says something. Does this hint at a connection to Hollywood's shady side, or was she just hanging with the elite? Other celebs are quick to speak out, but Jay and Beyoncé are staying silent. But there's more names on the list too. J-Lo is the ex who just can't stay out of the headlines. Her and Diddy's relationship in the late 90s was pure tabloid gold, but it wasn't without its drama. That nightclub shooting in 1999 led to a major legal mess while Diddy faced the heat. J-Lo quickly distanced herself and bounced. If you recall the last time that you were here, I was telling you that I could always see you getting back with Puffy in a little way. I remember you said that. Yes, or in my mind look at, or in my mind getting together permanently. Play Pitbull. It's crazy. Everybody has, like, everybody came alive. They all had something to say. Yeah, everybody has an opinion. Yes, it's funny to me. Fast forward to now, and she's back in the spotlight with Diddy because of his latest controversies. Attorneys for Sean and Diddy Combs are fighting a lot of battle on a lot of different fronts lately, and likely spent their holiday crafting motions to try to curtail the amount of legal action the disgraced music mogul is facing. But one of the strangest cases involves a Michigan prison inmate who claims that Combs in the 90s a judge had initially granted a massive $100 million judgment in his favor, but after that was overturned. Derek Cardello Smith is now pushing forward with his lawsuit, and he says he plans to call Pope Ion J. Lopez as a witness. So with all the allegations against Diddy, she's been really quiet, and for someone who's usually not shy about addressing rumors, this silence tells us a lot. Her connection to Diddy makes her a key player in all this, plus she knows a lot about those infamous Diddy parties. After all, many thought she could have been the third person in the lawsuit with Jay and Diddy. Now let's dive into Mel Gibson's It's Pretty Scary, and it'll take decades to do that too. It's like, even if it, if it's a good idea, which I don't know if it is, but